if the leader has extremely pure heart with the brilliant intelligence, then can change the people. Coming to Heartfulness ashram, I don't see anybody as seeing me as coming from outside. They all embrace you with smile. And that smile is so pure. It's all because of the wisdom given by this guide, Daji Ji, and his own two teachers. This is what is required. Where there's a leader who has a brilliant vision and then with the good heart. When that happens, then the people can be changed. It's like a ripple effect. To just like a chain reaction. Just keep expanding it, so that you are left with no enemies in the world. No enemies. Everybody becomes us.
Namaste, Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul ji. Thanks for coming here for this beautiful sacred ceremony of the consecration of the descendant of the Mahabodhi tree. And we are very happy to have you here again at Kanha Shanti Vanam. I think it's probably your second visit after the Global Spirituality Mahotsav.
Yes.
So, welcome once again, and tell me, how do you feel to be back here again?
So basically, first of all, indeed it is extremely healing and extremely peaceful to be here. And the place, in the first place, of course, the place-wise, this is one thing. More important than the place is the people inside this, people who reside. And I learned that the space is total about like 1,500 or close to 2,000 acres. And it's like a huge town built with the blessings of Daji Ji and all the disciples, more than over like 2,000 families residing here. And you just enter the campus, you see that you're in a very different world. In ways that the world today is extremely divided. Whereas the moment you come here, you can see the oneness. This is extremely healing is coming back home. This is the feeling that I got the first time as well as today.
It was very nice of you. Thank you so much for, saying that beautiful words. It's like coming back home. And I'm deeply touched to, listen to those words from you. So there was a lot of work where a lot of spiritual traditions came together during the Global Spirituality Mahotsav. And I was fortunate to listen to your speech also. And I also see that His Holiness the Dalai Lama is doing so much for the upliftment of people and for spreading peace and compassion. I see a lot of confluence between both of these beautiful, rich traditions, the Heartfulness traditions and the Buddhist tradition. And I would like to hear your views about it.
So in fact, I would say perhaps, if I'm not too presumptuous, I may say that so with respect to the two traditions, if somebody who knows heartfulness so fully, then entering meaning just having the exposure to Buddhist tradition, one may get a feeling that this is actually heartfulness. And then somebody in Buddhist denomination comes to heartfulness and see what the heartfulness is all about, and just look at the demeanor of Daji, the instant you feel that this is Buddhism. So in a way, I would say that the whole purpose that we need to, anyone, whatever tradition that one is following, is to keep in mind that the two things, the goal and the means, these two should not be mixed up. These two are not one. We should not forget the goal. And the means can be different approaches. For example, like the Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, Judaism, Sikhism, Baha'i, or say Buddhism, all the traditions, they, depending on which locality, which time, they evolve. So they all adopt a means to get to the goal. The goal is one. The goal is that all of us, that there should be no fight, there should be no discrimination, there should be no the bully, and everybody should feel the joy, happiness, peace, and somebody's falling, everybody should be there to lift the person up. So this should be our goal. And this is the goal of all the different religions. Now the point is that the people who are going to a little bit of the extreme, like the fundamentalist or the religious, they've following the fanaticism, they tend to then see this means, this religion as mean, which is actually means. They see that that is important, they forget the goal. And then they fight. And the goal of all the religions to create harmony in the world, to create peace in the world, that is disrupted in the name of religion. So whereas come here in Heartfulness, you see that with anyone. So anyone who's following Dajiji, we can see that there's a sense of embrace, no pushing. This is something so precious, and I see that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, so during the global spiritual Mahotsav, in fact, when I just felt this ambience of heartfulness, and then I actually listened to Dajiji's speech, it was in the presence of I think 40, 50, 60, 1 lakh people then. There, I could see the beauty, the warmth, and the embracing of him. And then instantly, I talked to Tridoshanji, and who actually put the initiative to invite me. And then I suggested that, in fact, these great minds, great, visionary, and people of action, and then the driving force of compassion. Compassion is the driving force. So these people, these great minds, leaders should come together, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama. For example, like today, if Mahatma Gandhi is alive, I would surely work so hard that all these great minds should come together, work for the harmony, work for the real peace, not just peace and talk. The real peace, for example, like what this is the proof. Just come to Heartfulness, the town here, the ashram here, you can feel that. The oneness is felt. So if these great minds, they come together, and no doubt the world will be a very different world.
Thank you so much. On that note of, various traditions coming together, having a common denominator, to summarize whatever you said just now, I would summarize it in one word: the heart. And on that note, I'm reminded of the Heart Sutra, which says, form is emptiness, and emptiness is form, and all other things like memories, perception, and consciousness is also the same. And, there is this beautiful idea that Babuji, one of our founding teachers, founding guides of Heartfulness, said that this spiritual journey which we take is towards almost nothingness, so that again is a beautiful confluence, and I'm reminded of that as you said this. So if you would like to elaborate more on the Heart Sutra and its, I would like to hear your views about it.
Wonderful. This is the very serious matter. Say that for example, when you speak about the heart, and then next point is heartfulness. So heartfulness. So how I would interpret the distinction between the two is that, let's think of two mothers. One mother, both have intense heart to help the child. And the child needs to be educated. And the child wants to become a Nobel laureate in physics. And one mother knows physics so well, relativity theory, quantum physics, quantum entanglement, and the teleportation, all these concepts, so thorough. And the second mother loves the child so much, but doesn't know physics at all. So although the mother loves the mother loves the child so much, and to want to just make the dream of the child come true. But the mother is totally helpless. She doesn't have the wisdom or the intelligence to guide the child to the fullness of the child's aspiration. Whereas in the case of the case of the first mother, with this heart, the wisdom or the knowledge that she has of physics, that makes her heart full. That the mother comes to the culmination of the child's aspiration, that he or she becomes a Nobel laureate in physics, because the mother not only has the heart but also has the wisdom to make it full. So this means the heartfulness, where the heart is driven by, the heart of compassion is driven by the guide of the wisdom. Then it becomes heartfulness. So from that point of view, I see that Heart Sutra, in it, so when it says the form is empty, emptiness is the form. Form is not other than emptiness, emptiness is not other than form. So this is actually telling us how to make the heart full. How to drive this heart by the wisdom. So with this, say for example, as you indicated, one of the guides of heartfulness, the
Babuji Maharaj.
Babuji Maharaj, when he said that everything goes into the emptiness as a goal. So this has a deep, deep, deep meaning in ways that for example, say the Heart Sutra says, as you indicated, that the form is empty. It is one side. Emptiness is the form. Say, like the two sides of the same coin. Two sides of the same coin. One side you see the form is empty. Emptiness side. Emptiness side. And the other side we see emptiness is form. So one talks about the emptiness and one talks about the form. Now the form here means dependent origination. How things come into being by dependence on each other, that nobody is independent. Everything is empty of independent entity. Empty here means empty of independent entity. The moment why conflicts, fights are happening? Because we have a feeling that we're independent from you. We don't care about you because we're independent. So this attitude is ignorance. This is ignorance. So this sees others as independent from you. You are independent from others. In actuality, this is our illusion. This is what Albert Einstein calls as an optical delusion. What creates division between you and I. Whereas in reality, he says that how to fix this problem of the optical delusion, which creates all the fears and tension in the world, is by expanding the circle of compassion. By seeing that we're all dependent on each other. Particularly, so in other words, compassion, when driven by the wisdom, intelligence, then this compassion becomes whole in ways to incorporate everybody. For example, COVID-19. COVID-19 taught us that we're all dependent on each other. For example, even if there is, on the individual level and on the society level, on the individual level, say, even the king, then the Prince Charles of England, even the Prime Minister of England, and the many presidents, prime ministers, they all had COVID. So even though your nation is very powerful, but the COVID taught us that you are not independent. You are dependent on other smaller countries as well. So let's say that with COVID, we all had the experience of COVID. Say you protected your country so well by not allowing anybody to get in or get out. But if you do that, your economy will collapse. So to survive the economy, you have to have the outlet, the inlet. When you do that, then rich people from the other countries, even though poor country, but the rich individuals can come to your place. They can bring COVID. This was what exactly happened. So you cannot really protect yourself fully until you know that we are dependent. We have to protect the weaker countries from COVID. Only then you are protected. COVID taught us
Yes.
interdependent nature. This is the wisdom required to make the heart full. It just the not encompass your own circle, but it should reach out to all the beings, all human beings, all animals, a whole ecology, whole world, whole environment. Then becomes full, heartfulness. So, with this mind, form is empty. So this tells us that there's no independent entity. From this, all this craving, greed, and the anger, hostility, and so forth, all these destructive emotions will dissolve to see that there's no independent entity. I'm not independent. We're all dependent on each other. Then when you say the emptiness of form, when you see the form nature, which means that things do exist, empty of independence, but things do exist in dependence. So with this, then you see dependent origination. You see how we are all, by dependence on you, my happiness comes into existence. Then, because of which my empathy, my love, concern, affection, concern for you all grow. So your good qualities of compassion and so forth will grow by understanding the emptiness of form. But as the form is emptiness, your destructive emotions will dissolve. Emptiness of form, you understand your good qualities like compassion, joy, they all just proliferate. So this is the essence of Heart Sutra, the Heart Sutra. And then this gives us the very bright eyes to see the reality of interdependence, so that the destructive emotions will be curtailed, and then your heart of compassion will become full for all, to embrace all the living creatures on the planet Earth, including the environment, the ecology.
So thank you so much for that beautiful explanation of the Heart Sutra. And on that note, I was really mind blown when you spoke about this idea of the ripples of compassion. When it touches, one ripple touches the next ripple, and I mean the ripples are formed like that, and how one act by me or by you, and so on, it just moves on and it touches Rudy and Priya and so on. And so that was a very beautiful analogy, and thank you so much for that. And I was reminded of this beautiful Om Mani Padme Hum. And I heard this Buddhist teacher, Jack Cronsfield, talking about this as the jewel in the lotus. He said, compassion arises in the mind when this lotus in the heart blooms of this mantra. And I found a similar analogy where in the Heartfulness, we work for the collective evolution of humanity. There is never... we have this bedtime intent where we pray for the collective evolution of the whole of humanity, including ourselves. So I found this analogy very beautiful,
In fact, this is amazing. And even this word, the phrase, collective evolution of the humanity, is so beautiful. So this, you are right, that Om Mani Padme Hum. In fact, this is the name mantra of the Buddha of compassion. We call him as Avalokiteshvara. Then in Chinese tradition, it takes the female form referred to as the Kuan Yin. And the Tibetan Buddhism, which came from Nalanda, India, that they manifest in the form of the male Avalokiteshvara. And the mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum. And Om, there's something common to Hinduism and Buddhism, and also Jainism. This Om, it is constituted of three alphabets. A, O, Ma. And this A, O, Ma symbolizes your body, speech, and mind. And what is to be awakened? Heartfulness, to be awakened. Human evolution, to evolve into the perfect body, perfect speech, and perfect mind. And some people may prefer to call it perfect consciousness. And these three are to be evolved. And that the means to get there is the heartfulness, the heart before. And how to make it evolve is through Mani and Padme. Mani is the jewel. The jewel, in the original context understanding, this jewel is technically referred to as the wish fulfilling jewel.
Okay.
Wish fulfilling gem, which means that when you have this, your wishes are accomplished. Where you have a good heart, your wishes, your happiness, the wishes are fulfilled. So the good heart, heartfulness, the good heart, the jewel, money symbolizes jewel. That is symbolic of the heart, compassion. So where you have this, just as you pray to the wish fulfilling gem, your aspirations are answered, your prayers are answered. Likewise, you have the good heart, then your aspirations to be happy, to make your family members happy, people going through chronic disease, people going through, say, the immunity disorder, because of the immunity collapsing, practice this good heart, immunity restores, and because of your immunity becomes stronger, then you are not prone to illness. You can combat the illness so easily. Physical health, mental health, all come into being with the good heart. So there's the money. Then the next question is good heart, how to make it full, heartfulness, how to make it full by the wisdom. So Mani Padme. Padme is actually Padma. Padma is lotus. Kamal. Padma. Lotus. Lotus, while it grows in the mud, but it's not tainted by the mud. It's not affected by the mud. It's so pure. So this wisdom, although the wisdom is born in people like you, me, and anybody who is directed properly by a proper guide, then this wisdom, although born in somebody who is just ordinary person, but this wisdom is so pure to guide the compassion to become full, heart to become full. So wisdom must be incorporated. That is indicated by the Kamal or the lotus or Padma. And Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Hum is symbolic of the need for the heart and the wisdom to come together, not in isolation. These two must be worked, practiced by the individuals in a joint way. Say, as you said, collective evolution. Evolution of the collective effort to go for the evolution of the humanity. So we need to have these two things collectively in one entity so that your, say, the heart becomes full. Not just for, okay, I'm happy under Dajiji. It's just, you are just part, I. And we say our, when you say that, when you say our, and automatically you're saying your. So it's not full. It's still half. So our heartfulness means it's a half heartfulness. It's not full. So it should be full to think of whole world. For example, like Dajiji doesn't require this 2,000 acres of land. But he's doing it not for him. It's for all these people who appreciate heartfulness. So he's full. So that is something that we have to learn from him.
Thank you so much. That was so beautifully put. And so, I mean, I'm just so full actually now. I don't know what to ask you next. Do I have so much notes? I don't feel like going back to look at it. That was such a beautiful explanation, actually.
And one thing that I think we need to learn from great teachers like here in Dajiji and then His Holiness the Dalai Lama is that if the leader has extremely pure heart with the brilliant intelligence, then can change the people, change the followers. The followers say, coming to heartfulness ashram, I don't see anybody as seeing me as coming from outside. They all embrace you. embrace you with smile. And that smile is so pure. How come that all these people, are they all born from one mother? No. It's all because of the wisdom given by this guide, Dajiji, and his own two teachers. This is what is required. Where there's a leader who has a brilliant vision, large scale vision for the larger good, and then with the good heart. When that happens, then the people can be changed. Not only the followers can be changed, convert the followers to be like himself or herself. It's like a ripple effect. To just like a chain reaction. Just keep expanding it, so that you are left with no enemies in the world. No enemies. Everybody becomes us. For example, His Holiness the Dalai Lama is amazing. So since my childhood, I just took for granted that how come that, say, the whole Tibet was annexed. If somebody comes to annex, to take away, say, the possessions of my room, will say there's no human rights, we will sue you. And the whole nation is annexed by the Republic of China. And yet His Holiness, amazing. And of course, Tibetan people, it's not that Tibetan people are special. No, we're just as ordinary as anybody. For example, look at all the different revolutions, French Revolution, Russian Revolution, all the people sacrifice their life for what? You are the annexer. We are the victim. Why should we suffer under you? So there's so much hatred and anger and fighting, so forth. But in the case of Tibetans, it's just opposite. They don't really go to kill even a single Chinese. Never. Why? Is it that Tibetan people, they're so compassionate? No. Because of the leader. One leader said that it is the greatest failure if you are angry towards the Chinese. We should be very practical. What can be done? We do that. And then we don't have to hate the Chinese. So, but we go for a solution which is practical, doable, which is beneficial on both sides, and for which we better go for, say, the middle way. Middle way, win-win. And not like and then we'll punish you, we'll kill you. This is not the attitude. And the Tibetan people, they adopted this thinking. It's amazing. And today, so I've been hearing all this since my childhood. And now, when I look back, when I look at the history of humanity, I see that, wow, that's amazing. So one person could just revolutionize the whole thinking pattern of all millions of Tibetan people. And here in Heartfulness, I can see that all these people, they have the smile. They smile. And it's all because of one person, Dajiji, here. So this is where I should say that the world, all over the world, the leaders should learn from, like here, Dajiji and His Holiness the Dalai Lama. They have to learn from them how to have these two things. The compassion, the wisdom, driving the compassion. Driven by compassion, then just change the world to make the world a better world. So that all these trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars otherwise dumped into the warfare can be used for the human flourishing.
Absolutely stunning. Yeah. Thank you so much. I was just reminded when you spoke about this beautiful one person or a couple of people being visionaries. Again, Babuji Maharaj has said that I don't create disciples, I create masters, So you just re-quoted that just as an observation or as a witness, and that was really spectacular, and I'm like mind blown again. So again, coming back to what you said about a couple of people who are visionaries, they don't create disciples or devotees or even ambassadors or even visionaries. They create more and more people who are identical to them, almost. I mean, at least almost in their vision and in their heart. And it's so amazing having to listen to you about this idea. as an observation of the people around us. And I'm sure people like Daji and His Holiness the Dalai Lama ji are going to really, revolutionize this world. And not only them, I'm sure there are so many great leaders in this world who are going to do a lot of great work in this planet for peace building measures. And it's been an amazing time chatting with you over all of these points. And as we are about to conclude this podcast, would you have any closing comments or closing thoughts?
In fact, during the global spiritual summit organized here in the Kanha ashram, I just shared this with some of the people here, the disciples of the Dajiji, that Dajiji can be actually the president of India. And then he would then replicate this to whole India, to the whole world.
Sure, yeah.
So this is what I said. And then they responded very differently. They said that Dajiji simply doesn't want to involve in such things. He thinks that better he does what he can. And the moment you are into the government or whatever, then you have to act in a certain way. But it's here, he has a free hand to do what he likes to. So what I'm saying is that India is an amazing country. For example, it produced the masters of the different traditions of the past. Jainism, Hinduism, Buddhism, all these great masters. And then they say like the Mahatma Gandhi, Vinoba Bhave. And then here we have the Daji. These are amazing. And then His Holiness the Dalai Lama so beautifully says that wherever he travels in the world, he advocates that India is a land of ahimsa. His Holiness is actually the one who promotes India in the world for its good qualities, for its amazing qualities with which to contribute to the world. The world is deprived of these amazing qualities. And His Holiness is really serving as the ambassador of India. And His Holiness, I remember saying that my body is survived by the Indian rice and dal. And my brain is survived by the Indian Nalanda philosophy, psychology, and metaphysics, logic. So essentially, His Holiness is like the sun of India. So what I'm saying is that this is amazing. In this world, great leaders like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and in the past, Mahatma Gandhi, and here, and Dajiji. So these are the products of India. And Indian common masses and the leaders, they should learn from them. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul ji. It's been an absolute pleasure, honor, and a great learning talking to you. And gratitude from all of us. And please keep visiting Kanha Shanti Vanam.
Thank you. Actually, it's my honor to visit this ashram. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful. You just feel the peace. Just enter it, you will feel the peace. And I've been seeing this smile on a large scale. One smile, two smiles, that's easy. You can find it anywhere. But on a large scale, wherever you go here in this 2,000-acre place, you smile, you see only smiles. That's so contagious. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. And Dajiji produced that. It's amazing. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of KanaCast. Do subscribe to KanaCast on YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify. Until the next episode, from the entire KanaCast team, namaste and goodbye.